Nikki, can you look under my bed? I think there's a monster under there.
Really, Yesenia? You're 18 years old and you think there's a monster under your bed?
Can you please just look?
Fine, I'll check.
Subfuckers, trap monster.
Anyway, guys, welcome to episode 4 of the Kpop fandom podcast. I'm not gonna tell you guys how many times it took us to get that right, but anyway, we have a lot to talk about today because BTS once again broke the internet, and they weren't kidding. The Paper Magazine interview hit Twitter, and everyone collectively lost their minds. It was awesome. I'm not gonna lie. It was great.
Definitely one of their better interviews.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they act like this journalist. I actually have the article. Hold on, let me pull it up. As someone who has a degree in journalism and a journalism background, I really loved how she approached this. She obviously did her research. She talked about all of their achievements. She also talked about a little bit about the background of K-pop, South Taejian boys and HOT from the 90s. Being the start of everything.
That's one thing that I love though, is like all of her questions, or at least, a good chunk of them, were very deep and personal, meaningful type questions. Like some of the interviews that they've done. I remember this one that they did, I forgot with who it was, but it was like this 20 or 30 minute interview, and they literally, I'm pretty sure at least like 4 or 5 of the questions was about Drake, and I'm like, what the hell does this have to do with them? Like, why are you asking these questions?
Yeah.
Either that, or it's just constant repetitive questions over and over in all the interviews. Where they're like, why do they keep answering the same? It's like, what, you want them to come up with a different answer for each time you ask the damn question?
I like the collabs, who you want to collab with.
Yes,
exactly.
I stopped watching
them. All that kind of stuff, and I'm just like, can you make it about them? Who cares about who they're collabing with? Make it about them and their music.
And they did, which was great. Like, not even deep questions necessarily, but just like, what'd you guys do while you were on vacation? Just like a personal question, like, oh, what do you guys do in your free time? What did you do? But also like more, like deeper and just like fun questions. Like, if you could switch talents with one of your bandmates for 24 hours, who would you choose and why? I loved that question. And
my favorite was Jin saying, I don't know if it was, I think it was memorizing the choreography from V, so that he can tell Namjoon, haha, did you forget the choreography?
V's ability to memorize choreography. I want to say to Namjoon. Yeah. Have you already forgot? Everyone, Suga or Yoongi was such a mood. He was like, I want to be good at English. Oh my god, I should have studied English.
The entire interview.
Just need to learn English. And I'm like, that's fair. I'm glad that he's,
I love him.
Enthusiastic about learning a new language, which we all know second languages, so we know how hard it is to learn another one. Something like that is very relatable. So that was pretty cute. But also, one of my favorite quotes to come out of this interview was in response to the question, another theme in your music is dreams. With all the heaviness of the world today, do you think dreams help people find meaning and ambition to move forward amid uncertain times?
I think you're about to say the same quote that I have up on my phone right
now. We did say that you don't have to dream, but living a life without dreams or hope would be quite dim, wouldn't it?
That shook me when I read that. I felt that in my soul. I was
that was so
wrong.
Good.
Like, there's parts where people are very conflicted when it comes to what they want to do in their future. Like, I know I am. Like, that's probably one of the biggest stresses in my life.
Same.
Is what do I want to do with my future? But then when they say that, you don't need to worry about dreams, but at the same time, try to have them, because without it, then it's kind of hopeless. Like, life would be kind of boring without it. So
exactly.
I thought, I took that to heart, because I could relate to it so well. I think that's crazy.
Yeah, me too. That was probably my favorite quote to come out of the interview. And I think they say the things that they're supposed to say, as we know, and they say things that are supposed to sound good, but I feel like this was an interview where they were especially honest, because they were asked questions.
Honestly, yeah, and it sounds like it was just all coming from their heart.
Especially after they've kind of been on, radio silence, more or less, since their break, because they're working on a new album, obviously. So this kind of came out of the blue. I wasn't expecting it whatsoever, and I'm glad it happened.
Oh, me neither.
I'm glad it happened because this was a really, really nice thing to see when we haven't really been hearing much from them. However, as good as it was, I still have some issues with it. I love Lisa Frank. I grew up like collecting those books. Were they coloring books, right? I remember like seeing them as a kid, like buying them as a kid. But my God, did I not like this collaboration. I'm really sorry. But I thought it was the ugliest thing ever. It just did not do it for me because they look so good and they're in like these beautiful like Louis Vuitton clothes, and then there's like pizza and the pig on. I'm looking at Jin's picture right now. There's like a panda and a hot dog and a taco and a piece of pizza and like a pig sitting on like planet Saturn that looks like a Crayola threw up on it, floating around.
Damn, girl.
And
okay, here's my thing with this photo shoot. I actually didn't think it was that bad. One, they look hot as hell on it. But
they do,
I'm not
but
even
everything
talking about the
else.
backgrounds right now. They just look hot, like crazy, amazing. And by the way, I would just like to point out really quickly that Namjoon owned this photo shoot with his Louis Vuitton shirt. That was wow.
No question.
But
no
anyways,
question.
Yeah. So here's my thing. I also grew up with a bunch of Lisa Frank type stuff. So the thing is, when I first saw this shoot, it completely went over my head that is what it was. Like when I saw a Lisa Frank collaboration, I was like, what are they talking about? And I looked at the photos and I was like, why does this look so familiar? And like the more I looked back on it and I saw people saying, oh my God, I used to collect these stickers and these coloring books, and I was like, I did too. And it kind of like a light switch went off in my brain where I was like, this is like giving me like nostalgic vibes.
Okay.
Which made me kind of love it a little bit even more. Even though I will admit it looked really cringy. I will admit that. But I mean, it was very like out of the blue. Like I did not expect that at all. But I will admit that I did actually kind of like it. I actually liked it. The other shoot, on the other hand, because they did two shoots. They did the one with all the color and then the one that's just like the one that says paper on it. That wow is like an understatement. I love that shoot, but like this one just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand where it came from. I don't understand why they did it, and I don't understand why thing. Like that's one thing I wanted to question is that they said that they did it to break the internet per se, right?
I guess.
My thing was, when I saw that, I was like, are they trying to send a message with this shoot?
I think as like I don't know, I think as neon and drastic as Lisa Frank designs are, I think if they had been wearing like really crazy neon patterns like they kind of were in the Idol music video, I think it would have worked a little bit better had the aesthetics matched up a little bit more.
Honestly, I could see that.
Yeah, like Hobie's like crazy zigzag striped suit or whatever, that would have worked in these crazy backgrounds. Just the editing is just, I'm looking at Jungkook's photo and there's like a cat mermaid by him and I'm just like, what? And like, okay, Namjoon's isn't bad.
These photos again real quick. Tae's with the horse on its shoulder.
I know, and it's like, and also on the
it's so good.
On the main one, like where they have BTS break the internet, the little like neon tiger is kind of covering up Tae's face. Like design wise, it just kind of looks a little bit sloppy in my opinion. It looks like an alien tried to do a Pixar edit. I can't think of a better way to describe it. So,
okay, but to be fair, like looking at it, I think like my favorite from the colorful thing is either Namjoon, just because when he winks, I die immediately.
Yes.
And then Yoongi looks so good, just like standing on top of the world.
I was literally going to say the same too. Yesenia, what did you think of it? Because I feel like we've talked over the top of you this whole time. What did you think?
I'm so sorry, Yesenia. Sorry, I'm doing my math homework while I'm doing this.
What did you think of it?
I thought it was very nice. I was hearing everything you guys were saying about it, and it's true. I actually enjoyed reading it compared to like if you see like those other cringy like American
interviews.
Western interviews. I couldn't even bear to watching these, and like you said, these are asking more personal questions like like the pressure that they face as being artists, what they did on their vacation, and things like that. So those are things that I enjoy rather than asking, oh, who would you want to collab with? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I did really, really like it. But like the aesthetic overall, that was, I would have liked it if maybe I was like 9 years old, you know what I mean?
I mean, that's a fair point. It's a fair point.
Because I was 9 when I liked Lisa Frank stuff.
It's just weird now to see it, you know what I mean?
Okay, you are so valid. We are on the exact same page, but they're like normal photos are just like, I want photo cards of that. Oh, we were gonna mention that we played with the BTS Uno cards because Cena is extra and bought them.
Guess what?
What?
That same day we played Uno with your cards, I bought mine that same day and they came in the next day. So I have mine too.
So I do not own them. I did not buy them.
You're boring.
I know.
Anyways, are we going to talk about how I kicked your guys' asses?
Okay, you know what? Full disclosure, I was apparently deprived in childhood and I did not know how to play Uno until last week. I'd never played a game of Uno in my life, and so the first time I ever played Uno was with BTS Uno cards, so I lost my Uno virginity to BTS.
Oh my god, shut up.
I can't believe I just said that sentence. So anyway, Cena kicked our asses.
Hell yeah, I did.
No.
Because she had the power of God and Tae on her side.
And Taehyung on my side.
She did.
But it just depends on who split the deck.
Every time I freaking split the deck, Cena won. So finally, Yesenia split the deck. I won one game, and Yesenia won one game. But then I had to leave and go to class, so I don't know what happened afterwards. But
kept winning.
I kept killing her.
And then we played speed, and then I was beating her, and then she kept beating
she whipped my ass in speed.
Oh, very good at that game.
Oh my god. But it was so bad because Cena won like the first 4 games we played, and I was like about to cry into my bubble tea because we were just sitting in this bubble tea shop like right by the camp, like right by our campuses, and I'm just like sitting there, and she's like, Uno, 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 and I'm like, you know what?
I did not sound like that. That's so disrespectful.
You kept winking at me every time you.
Oh yeah. So here's my thing. So I did it once just because it's gonna sound so weird, but I sometimes do that. Like if I make eye contact with someone, I started doing it because my brother did it. And I saw that he did it, and I just kind of inherited the habit. I don't know why. It's weird. But the thing is, with you, I kind of just started doing it to piss you off because I did it once and you got pissed, so I just kept doing it.
It worked. It worked. Every time I freaking got frustrated because I wasn't winning or like messed up the order of who was supposed to go next or like put down a card when I wasn't supposed to because I'm elderly and the elderly need more time to think things through, she'd wink at me. And it was not fair. It was not fair. But then I won, I
just think that you suck at Uno.
I do kind of suck at Uno. But the time I won, I did like have an obnoxious reaction. I was like jumping up and down in the booth and like throwing my arms around, and it was kind of sad.
I'm pretty sure the cashiers that were there looked at her like she was psychotic.
Well, you know what? We were already playing BTS Uno in public, so I don't think that we were.
What's wrong with that? Nobody saw the faces. Nobody knew what it was. They just thought it was Uno.
I guess. That's true.
Don't blame it on the BTS Uno cards. Don't blame them. Don't blame the cards for you being crazy.
Okay, fair. But anyway, next time we play, I'm going to kick your ass thoroughly and win.
One Kindle. Hey, remember Namjoon's quote? I think that can come into use right now because that is such a dream. But you can hold on to that dream because without it, your life would be dead.
I hate you. I hate you so much. So yeah, I suck at Uno.
In conclusion, long story short, Nikki sucks at Uno.
Yes, I do. Even when I'm playing with BTS Uno cards. I still suck.
Should be both of us. It's okay.
Alright, I feel a little bit better. Alright, well, because we can never help but include something serious or depressing in these episodes, apparently, I'm waiting for the shipping episode and the fanfic episode because we need Paige for that, and that's going to be hilarious, but...
Oh my god, I can't wait for that episode. She needs to hurry up.
I know. She's...
I miss her.
To be fair, Paige is...
She's gotten really busy with school and work, and she does some crazy stuff. Like, I'm so proud of her, honestly.
Yes, me too.
She does so much stuff with her life right now, so it's crazy.
Yeah.
But she did say that she might be able to come back during winter break, which is only like 2 or 3 weeks away.
Yeah. So we'll probably get, like, maybe one more episode out before then, because one is having a consistent schedule. And, but then she'll join us and we'll officially be all together again. The serious thing that we want to talk about in this episode real quick is there was a whole scandal with Amber Liu from FX. It's a lot to process. So anyway, she was on a YouTube sort of news channel, I guess, I could be wrong about that, but she was on like some sort of small like news entertainment news outlet. She was shown a video of a black man in LA who was confronted and later arrested by a cop for eating a sandwich on a train platform. I watched a snippet of the video. The cop like came up to him and said that, this is against law, you're not supposed to be eating here. He like argued his case against them. He's like, I'm just eating a sandwich, I'm not causing a public disturbance, I'm not doing anything that's bothering anybody, I'm literally eating my lunch, basically. And the cop eventually arrested him for resisting arrest, which is a lot more severe than just eating in public when you're not supposed to, which I'm not even sure if that's a real law, but okay, I guess we'll just go off of what this cop said. Eventually, a bunch more cops showed up and escorted him away, and when Amber was shown the video, she said something along the lines of that this man was being disrespectful to the cop and that he should have been more respectful about the situation and the fact that he was quote-unquote breaking the law. Twitter lit up. She trended, I believe, #1 worldwide. People were furious for obvious reasons. They were canceling her left and right. There were even some people who were taking screenshots, canceling tickets to her upcoming tour because they did not agree with what she was saying. I was actually talking with a friend about this in another BTS group chat I'm in, and she was really mad but willing to wait for an apology. An apology came a couple hours later, and I read the apology. There were still issues with it. In my personal opinion, she apologized. She said that she supports Black Lives Matter and that she needs to continue to educate herself on these issues. However, she blamed her ignorance, quote unquote, on the fact that she has not lived in the US for the past 10 years. And I can't help but call bullshit, because as an American, and she, I'm sure, keeps up with friends and family who live in the US, and no one, I think, is oblivious to the Black Lives Matter movement. That is a global phenomenon. People all over know about that and know about American police brutality, especially against the African American community. So there's no way that she could be 100% ignorant about that and go on a news outlet of some type and say these things. I mean, she is obviously free to have her own opinion, but on such a touchy subject, she should know that people would be sensitive. The fact that she is hinging her ignorance on the fact that she has not lived in the US for 10 years is not something that I think is justifiable for what she said. Anyway, that is my opinion about the whole thing and background. So, what did you guys think?
I completely agree with you. like, she can't blame that she's been in Korea for so long on that, because like you said, the Black Lives Matter movement is so powerful and it's so huge, and it has become, like you said, literally worldwide. Like, everybody knows about it. I mean, and it's not even just that, it's like the fact that the guy arrested him, like, not even the fact that he was Black, but just for arresting someone for eating a sandwich. That's bullshit on its own. But the fact that he was so easy to do it, obviously, because, like, as unfortunate as it is, because of his race, that's complete and utter bullshit. You know? And I hate when I see videos like that, because they get treated horribly when it comes to cops, and it breaks my heart. So then when she's gonna try and come along and be like, and act like everything is fine, all that kind of stuff, and it's just like, it blows my mind. I'm like, that's ridiculous.
Exactly. And Yesenia, you knew about this too as well. So what are your thoughts about it?
Yes. I did see a little snippet of it. I didn't read too much, but I did see the video, like her actual video of her saying it. And she did not hesitate, you know what I mean? Like, she really stood by it, and I was like, that's kind of fucked up. It doesn't matter. He was just eating a sandwich, you know what I mean? That doesn't give him a right for him to be stopped by the police. So I totally agree with his action of the man, not the police officer. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
And
he had no right. It's just stupid. They use your authority. They abuse their authority.
Exactly.
Yes, they do.
The fact that she did issue an apology is a step in the right direction, but I do still have issue with how she placed the blame, so to speak. And it's a touchy subject, but you know, I think it was important to touch on it. To transition to something a little bit more positive, the Eric Nam album was incredible. Let me just say that.
I think he's about to start fangirling.
Oh, please don't call me out. You love him too. Yeah, he's pretty awesome. He's hilarious, and I'm fangirling, struggling for my words. But I love him a lot. And he also promised that he was coming to Arizona, which I'm so happy about, because on the Kpop Daebak show about, I don't know, a month and a half ago or something, whenever they did the Q&A episode, like, he picked a question that someone had asked, so when are you coming to, are you coming to Arizona? And he's like, yes. So I'm like, I hope he does, because that would be very convenient for me, for all of us, because I'm dragging both of you with me to go see him. And, but anyway, his album, it's his first full-length English album. He says, like, this whole album is sad boy hours, and yeah, it was. It, like, you wanted to dance, you wanted to cry, you wanted to smile. Like, this album was like a freaking roller coaster of a relationship ending, and it was amazing. Congratulations was a great song. Runaway, Love Die Young, but I think, like, Wonder was a great song. I think probably my favorite was How Am I Doing? I wrote, like, a super cheesy response on Twitter, which I'm gonna pull up because I have zero shame. But he, like, asked what your favorite song off the album was and why. So I responded to his Twitter, like, earlier this week, and I was like, how am I doing? Because I believe you can really be in love with someone, but it's not always enough to make the puzzle pieces fall in the right places. People are people, in love and not. And I think this song really captures that. I love it a lot. And that's, like, literally what the song is to me. And
damn, girl, that's deep.
I know, I don't know what happened. It was written really late at night after I listened to it, like, 3 times in a row. But I was like, that song just hits you different than any other song I've heard by him. Like, 4 a.m. is a really good song by him, but this song just, like, hits real different, and I love it a lot. I'm done fangirling now.
Beautiful.
So, we should probably move on to K-Bops, because Sina, you have some words to say about the Make It Right acoustic remix, right?
Yes. So I'll admit I loved it. I thought it was very pretty, but one thing that kind of annoyed me is they did a remix of the remix. When I heard it come out, I heard that they did an acoustic mix. I was so excited. You know, I'm like, oh my god, Make It Right as an acoustic, like that's gonna be like heaven in your ears. Like it's gonna sound like it's gonna sound like angels are singing to you. But then I look at it and I'm waiting for Tay to come on, and I'm just like, this isn't Tay.
So
what is going on? And I realized they did a remix of the remix, and I'm like, why? For God's sake, Big Hit, give him his lines back. I don't care about love. He was like I love him. That was an amazing collaboration. They did so good, and you guys know that I loved it because I went crazy over it.
Did.
Like, I don't know if it was like 2 episodes ago. But the fact that they did an acoustic of that version instead of the original, that kind of made me grow a little bit more against it, because I was like, I want it on the original. I want Taehyung back. Like, this is ridiculous. I'm sorry, that was my thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess it's technically not a K-pop since it's not like what I've been crazy about, but we're gonna use it because I really wanted to rant about it for a little bit. So,
Yesenia, what's your K-pop?
I have 3 K-pops at the moment.
Oh, dang.
One of them is not K-pop.
That's fine.
But it's one of them is Trigger by Harry Styles.
Okay.
It's Stop Talking by Day6.
Yes.
And I'm gonna throw back Autumn Leaves by BTS.
Nice.
I've been listening to that song so much. I love it.
I cannot handle all the taste that was just flung at me right now. I am so happy that you love Stop Talking, because that's such a good song. I love that song so much. Oh my god. So yeah, I'm slowly but surely getting Yesenia hooked on Day 6, and it is now my current mission, and it's working. So we have a My Day in the making.
They're really funny. They're crackheads.
They are.
Like crackhead energy.
Oh my god, crackhead culture's the best.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And they're really good.
Yeah.
They're really talented. Super talented.
So I'll finish up with mine. I'm pretty sure that I did Magic Island as my K-pop like last episode or the episode before, but the music video just dropped. It's like 13 minutes long. It's like a whole like mini.
Are you serious?
It's 13 minutes
I
long.
haven't seen it.
I won't spoil anything. It's 13 minutes long. It's like a freaking like mini drama, and whatever universe they're setting up for TXT, I am 100,000% on board. It's nothing like BTS. It's magical. It's kind of like got a mythological leaning to it. It's all okay for those who've seen it. It's got Over the Garden Wall vibes to me.
It what?
Over the Garden Wall. It was a short series that was on Cartoon Network for a while, and it's basically about these 2 brothers who get lost in the woods and have to find their way back, and it's filled with all sorts of like mystical creatures and weird imagery and stuff like that, and that's the vibes I'm getting from this, and I'm so excited to see where this goes, because that was my favorite song off their new album. Just go watch it. Like, the entire 13 minutes are 100% worth it. Like, none of us stand BTS from debut or from like the beginning of this like AU that they have, but like we're at the beginning of like the TXT AU, so it's so cool to see how it's developing, and I'm very excited to see where it goes. So yeah, that's my K-pop. Repetitive, but new as well. Anyway, so this has been a train wreck of a conversation, but thanks for coming. So we're gonna sign off with I can't even do it.
Okay, guys, so this has definitely been a train wreck of a conversation, but we made it through. For those of you who actually continue to listen all the way through, we appreciate you greatly. Thank you so much, and please look forward to our next podcast. Thank you guys for listening.
Are
we gonna say it?
1,
Oh,
2, 3.
JK!
Nikki, you suck.
I know.